Fighting Irish.
Well, it's awesome. I worked out here actually as a junior in high school, so it's not my first time up to South Bend, but it's great once you're around the people and the tradition. You get to see campus and how beautiful it is. And when I first got up here in January, there was a whole lot of snow, and then you learn real quick that it doesn't necessarily have to be in the forecast. They'll just pop up. And some of those weekends I was still driving back to Dublin, and so you time it. I'm gonna wait. All it started snowing. I got an hour before I have to leave, and you realize pretty quick, if you want to get through South Bend, you better hurry up. But I've enjoyed it. We've got really good people on this staff, and it's been a great experience.
Was this a personal preference? Why didn't this happen at Ohio State?
I don't know. I've been thinking about coaching ever since I retired. I think when you first retire, after I played football, I didn't miss a game from 4th grade through my, I guess it'd be 3 games through my 8th year in the NFL. So you start every single one of those, and you're just, at first you're kind of like, I need to take a breath, see if I'm interested in anything else. And then you realize I just miss being around the locker room, I miss ball. And so you're looking for the right situation. Sure. And for whatever reason, I tried the last few years to kind of get into coaching. And as you know, there's a lot of it's timing as well. And I've been in contact with Marcus ever since he was at Cincinnati about getting into it. And I contacted him through this last fall, assuming he'd be, D coordinator still. And things happened, and so an opportunity presented itself, and I'm just grateful that he trusted me and brought me on board.
James, talk about the linebackers, their talents, their strengths right now, and how you can help them reach their potential.
Oh gosh, we have a really smart group. Honestly, Al and I are so lucky to have guys who have seen a lot of football. They've got a lot of good coaching with previous coaches. You can tell that they've been well coached before, so it helps when you're jumping into it and you're learning as well, kind of what are we trying to do as a scheme and as a unit and all those things. Because look, I wasn't here last year, right? And so you're trying to figure out there's a lot of ways to play some of these coverages in different schemes you've been in. And they're so easy to just take it from a meeting here in the afternoon, and then that, you're, at night they're great on the grass. They can do it. So it helps us a lot, and they're good leaders. Through the summer, you saw that, in the different workout columns, the linebackers are always up there at the top, as it should be, but we're very fortunate to have those guys.
Communication is so key. Talk about your communication style.
Yeah, well, I think you have to be consistent. I always think when you're a player, all you want from your coaches is consistency. I think that's why Bill Belichick's one of the best. It comes to mind because the stories of guys that I know that played in New England, Tom Brady was getting treated the same as a guy who was a practice squad player trying to make it. If you screwed up in front of the team, Tom would get corrected, and so would others, right? So as a player, I respect that. If you see someone that's a star player and he's jogging to the ball, and yet I'm jogging to the ball, and I'm the one that get yelled at, but he's the star, and you don't yell at him, well now, come on, coach, So I think it's just consistency. I think if you don't have an answer, it's okay to say, I don't know, I'll get you one. And then you just got to be 100% honest and push them, and hopefully they start to trust you. They start to understand how much you care. I love young people, and I love the game of football. And honestly, I'm here just trying to help these guys achieve their dreams, right? And that's playing extremely high level of college football, and for some of them, hopefully a long time in the NFL. But it's just trying to keep helping them get better.
How much can you or Al help this team beat Ohio State?
Well, I think a lot. Al's extremely smart. Between Coach Freeman, who's extremely smart and a great defensive mind as well, to Coach Golden and what he has coached, but the people that he's coached with as well, extremely smart. And then we have other assistants who are brilliant as well. And I think it's just, we all mesh together to try what's best for our players. I think we can help them a lot. And I think what you've seen so far through spring ball, like where we are now this fall and where we were in the spring, just communication, and little adjustments. I mean, you feel really good about it. Still, as a competitor, you're always looking for like the perfect practice, and that'll never stop. You're looking for the perfect game that never happens. But I think we can make some great steps.
It's nice to see you back at running back today.
yeah.
Did you ever play that position?
No, I was tight end on offense. No, I didn't have much. I didn't have much burst through the hole. I was more of a blocker.
Coach Golden says you've humbled yourself to start on the ground floor of coaching. Would you agree that it's humbling?
No, I think sometimes. I think there's been former players before who have gotten into this profession and haven't realized or respected what the grind is all about.
The process.
And so you've seen a lot of players who think, well, I think I want to coach. They step into it. All these hours are intense, and they get out, and sometimes there can be a kind of a bad reputation. So I think with most former players who call people and say, hey, I want to coach, the first thing people say to you is, are you really sure? Are you sure you want to get into the grind? So to me, and maybe that's what happened, the first few times that I tried. I have no idea. It doesn't really bother me now. I'm happy here.
Yeah.
But I was just thankful for the opportunity that Marcus gave. It was, hey, he said, hey man, I don't know what we'll have, but I said, I don't care what you have. I just want to be there, and I want to get my foot in, and I want to be. To be able to have a chance to someone that you go back with. We're talking about freshman year of college, right? So the reason why I even had a chance to be backup my freshman year was because Marcus got hurt, game 1 against Miami, Ohio. And his character was helping me learn the playbook as a freshman. That's back before all these kids came in spring and all that. I showed up in Columbus the day before camp, like day before. There was no summer workouts. It was stayed at the Red Roof Inn right there on Old Tangi River Road, and I showed up, boom, with my dad, 2 duffel bags, let's go to camp. And I'm thinking, I'm probably redshirting, right? Marcus gets hurt, helps me. Now, now I'm the backup to Bobby Carpenter, and it was because that's when Marcus and I really became friends at that moment. So to be able to work with him now, it's awesome.
But is there other assistant coaches have a lot of experience at the biggest stage of this game, whether it's college or the NFL. How does that experience come into play this early in the fall camp?
I think it's just letting them know, and Marcus shared this with the team already. I think there's a quote that says, the problem is you think you have time. Like you think you have time, and you don't. Like I've been there, right? Where you're like, man, you make a mistake early in camp, you're like, oh, it's all good, like we'll get it right, guys. But no, like we don't have time. Because we know the team in Columbus right now is grinding, and we know how talented they are. And you watch them on film, you're like, oh gosh, like that's a talented bunch. So no, we can't let these little mistakes, but it's all right, we'll get it. Well, no, we need to eliminate those. So I think it's just a sense of urgency of not letting that set in. And to be quite honest, we have such good leaders that we don't have a lot of that. But we also know, I also remember being in the locker room, hey, tomorrow's picture day, the day after that's a day off. Like I know the mentality of, if we can get through this one, it's like let's push through this one. Let's not get through it. It's a privilege to get out here, put on that gold hat, and go to battle, right? So let's push through it and not just get through it.
What's the ceiling for Marist, and how much flexibility does he give the defense?
Well, I'll tell you what, when you go any of those, you'll feel Marist when live period comes up, right? I think a lot of times what I love about him is you got to rein him back because we got to be able to practice and protect your teammates. But I think with Marist, the sky's the limit with his potential. He's long, he's able to be on the ball, be off the ball, play in space. He's smart. I love his attitude. Today he came up to me and was like, hey, just really make sure, like if I am not burst into the ball, just let me know. I'm like, oh, you got it. Like I'll let you know. But it's a constant commitment to want to be better. And some of that obviously is what happened a year ago, right, with the injury. But it's all about making sure that he is fully just locked in and day out. And he's been great. But I think, man, potential-wise with him, he's a special talent.
And where's Prince's growth kind of come over the last 6 months?
Who?
Prince Colley.
Oh yeah, Prince, man. I tell you what, you talk about just natural instincts. I think you could put PK out there and just say, you don't even know what the defense is. Just react, right? I think that's what when you try to find somebody when you're in recruiting and you're watching them in high school. And you can tell guys who can see it off the ball. Like playing stack linebacker is not easy. Like when you get all these jet motions and people pulling, and now you got these orbit motions behind. There's all these people are moving. Where do my eyes go? And Prince is just so patient, and he can just find it. You could say, I don't care what the defense is, find the ball. He has such a natural knack, and he has grown tremendously from the spring to now. And he's, I mean, gosh, when I tell you that there's 5, 6 guys that you're like, they all deserve to play. It's exciting. It goes back to why I say we're so lucky to have these smart guys and very talented guys in the room.
Thank you.
Yep. Awesome.